All right, welcome to Lab 2, or I should say Challenge Lab 2 for AC500. Can you enable secure virtual machines and application services? So what we're doing here is working with VMs a bit, trying to secure them, and then also a little bit of adding application insights for security monitoring for a web application. We'll start off by creating a virtual machine. Put it into our resource group and call it one. And it needs to be Windows Server 2019. I'm going to use the suggested size from the lab provider. Azure admin password. And then for disks, we're going to change the disk type to be HDD. And then for management and monitoring, we're going to disable boot diagnostics. That's it. All right, now that is created. Settings, extensions. Microsoft antimalware. And we're just going to use the default settings. All right, that's done. Then let's block that RDP access. So if we go back to just the network security group, it was created for our virtual machine here. And now we have the inbound RDP open. So that's something that we might want to change. We're going to click on that and then delete it. All right, so now RDP is plugged. Next up, let's create a key vault. We're going to need that for encryption. We're going to put it into our resource group. We're going to call it KV followed by the lab number. Standard should be okay. Blah, 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 blah. And we want to give access to Azure disk encryption for volume encryption, because that's what we're going to do next. While that is deploying, we can already start our PowerShell Cloud Shell instance. For our purposes, we don't need any storage. Right, and then we wanted to look at our key vault as it has now been deployed. So what we can do is get the vault, and then we need to give it the vault name. That was that KV 471459117. So you can see that it gives us all of the information about that. And now we were asked to put that into a variable called key vault. Here we go. Right, so now that we have our key vault, we can enable Azure disk encryption. And now the way that we do this is here in PowerShell. PowerShell, right? So the commandlet is really long. It's called Z because we're writing something. AZ VM disk encryption extension. Yeah, see it there. Yeah. All right. And then what it requires as the parameters is here the resource group. Yeah. So our resource group was this one. Okay. Then we want to set the VM, and the VM name was web VM1, and then we need to set the vault name or the vault URI. And now we can use that thing that we just got here, right? So I'm going to say disk encryption vault URL, and then we're going to use key vault dot vault URI for that, and then we need the description key vault ID, and then that is from that key vault. Resource ID, right? I think this is everything that we need. Let's see if it works. And yeah, we're okay with rebooting. All right, that seemed to work. Cool. So next, let's work with a web app. So let's just create one. In our resource group, we're going to call it web app with our project number, publish code, ASP.NET 48 is cool. We're going to run it in East US. And create a new app plan called app plan 1. That's going to be a standard type. Deployment, we're not currently interested in continuous deployment. We need to enable basic authentication. No network injection. And for now, we don't want any application inside. So let's create. All right, that's deployed. So let's see if it works. Yes, it seems to be working. Marvelous. So now let's deploy some new code. That was just a test site, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the deployment center. And set up external Git. And then a GitHub repo that has a get started type of application running there. And then we save this. And now this takes a while, or at least in the past few days when I have been doing these videos, these deployments have been taking a lot longer than previously. So let's see. I'm going to wait until the new version gets deployed. All right, now it has been deployed. So next up, we're going to enable application insights. And the way we do this is that we go down to monitoring and we select application insights. And then just click on turn on. Okay. So it seems that I have to select an existing log analytics workspace in my environment. That way it should work. All right, that's done. So let's look at some data. All right, and here we are on the application dashboard where we can see kind of the latest metrics available for us. Okay, so let's generate some traffic here. Refreshing a couple of times. And then let's try to do some errors as well by entering a URL that exists. And now, if we look at this live metrics, refresh it. We should slowly be able to see. Okay, you can see we have one session, we have 3 failed requests. That's kind of what I did. And other metrics available to us. And that's it for this lab. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Till then.